In this video, I'm going to talk about Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, literally wanting to inflict pain on Apple, on Tim Cook, to make them hurt, to lobby the government against them, to claim antitrust, to do anything they can to paint Apple dirty. Why? Because Apple wants to give us, the customers, the users, the ability to choose whether or not Facebook gets to track us outside their own apps, across other apps, even across the internet. Apple considers this simple level of privacy and dignity a fundamental human right. And Facebook, well, Facebook seems intent on seeing it as an existential threat. Sponsored by Brilliant. Only a small percentage of you watching are actually subscribed, so do me a solid and hit that button and bell so we can build the biggest and best community in tech together. Starting in iOS 14.5, if an app wants to track our activities in other apps and on the web, well, it absolutely still can. It just has to ask our permission first. That's it. It's called App Tracking Transparency, and it means that if we're in the Facebook app and we're in our favorite knitting group or whatever, talking about all the knitting, just all the knitting, Facebook can serve us a personalized ad about knitting because they know we're more likely to click on that ad than something just generic or random. And that's all fine. That's all first party, meaning all happening in the same app. And nothing about that is changing. Not at all. But if we leave that Facebook app and we go to lego.com and then jeep.com, open our journaling app, our to-do list, play a couple of games, and then go back to Facebook, well, normally Facebook tries to follow us across all of those apps and websites as well, across anything that uses any of their software plugins or social hooks, so they can serve us ads based on what we do in those apps and sites as well. And this is what's changing, at least a very little tiny bit. The third-party tracking. And all that's changing is that Apple wants Facebook, or any app for that matter, to ask our permission before they track us. That's it. Literally it. Any app that wants to share our data with another app or service can still absolutely do it. They simply have to ask us. It doesn't even apply to other apps the same company owns. So Facebook can still first-party track us across the Big Blue app and Facebook.com, Instagram, WhatsApp, Oculus, Messenger, any other app or website they own, which is like half the social web at this point. It's only if they want to track us across apps and websites they don't own that they have to ask us. It is no different than what other apps have had to ask before they access our photos, or contacts, camera, or our physical location. All this means is that they now have to ask us before they can monitor our digital location as well. Because just like we're legitimately concerned an app might steal our private photos, spam our contacts, listen to us or spy on us with the camera or mic, or stalk us and sell our location in the real world, we're also legitimately concerned that apps might start stalking us in the digital world. It's why we see so many conspiracy theories about apps like Facebook and Instagram using the mics to listen into our conversations, which they absolutely do not do. But because they are so damn good at serving us targeted ads, we just assume, we just think, all the way in our brainstems, that's the only way they have to be doing it. But they're not. They are just that damn good at profiling us based on our behavior so they can target us with those ads. And some people will be fine with it, absolutely fine. We're getting the ads anyway, so they may prefer those ads be as personalized as possible, but others won't. They'll find it creepy and demand it stop. And now, for the very first time, we'll all get what we want. Except for Facebook, who seems to think giving us a choice in and of itself is wrong, fundamentally wrong. Probably because they're worried that if given a choice, we'll choose to block them, to say no. But rather than making a case for us to say yes, to convince us, to argue the value of what they can deliver, Facebook is taking out ads in newspapers, lobbying governments, claiming antitrust violations, saying this will hurt small apps and small businesses, as if any of them, from the biggest tech companies to the smallest online merchants, own our data and have a greater right to it than we do, as if it belongs to them, not by us, by divine right. Now, some people are confusing and conflating how app tracking transparency applies to Apple's own apps, intentionally or accidentally spreading disinformation about Apple having a double standard, not playing fair, giving themselves a separate setting and set of rules. And they are kind of right, but not really at all, because Apple's standard here isn't double. It's higher. That separate setting doesn't stop Apple from doing third-party tracking or serving personalized ads based on our activity elsewhere, because Apple doesn't do that to begin with. Not at all, not any of it. What that second setting does is stop Apple from serving first-party ads, like suggested apps in the App Store, the equivalent of Facebook serving us that knitting ad while we're in the Facebook knitting group. And that's the reason it is a second separate setting, because it's a legacy, but also because the new one applies to all apps. The old one, sadly, at this point, only applies to Apple. And conflating third and first-party tracking in the same interface panel, that is what would be legitimately confusing. Other people are saying the wording on the pop-up is just unfair, that allow Facebook to track your activities across other companies' apps and websites is scary and chilling, that it should be something closer to allow Facebook to serve you personalized ads, which is such a steaming pile of poop emojis, and everybody knows it, because personalized ads isn't all that they can do with that permission. Photo apps don't get to ask for permission to apply filters, contact apps to find your friends, conferencing apps to place video calls, location services for turn-by-turn. They all have to ask for full access, full blanket permission, because that's what they get. And once they get it, they can steal our photos, spam our contacts, record what they're doing, record what we're doing, or sell our location to collection agents, because that's the access we've given them. So they don't get to lie about the limitations, cherry pick the most benign use cases, diminish, try to confuse, or dismiss the very real risks of an app not just serving us personalized ads, but selling our online activity to data brokers. We get to know the full extent, the full scope of what we're doing, so we get to make the most informed decision before we agree to do it. We get to choose only those apps we really trust with that level of access. And even then, Apple can't stop all of it anyway. All they can do is block the iOS-specific ad identifier, not all of Facebook or any other services, software plugins, or webhooks. All they can do is hope Facebook and others honor and respect our choice and cut that stuff out as well, out of their own accord, based on the honor system. And even that, even the honor system, even respecting our choice, is apparently too much for Facebook, because it's not ending Facebook or any small apps or businesses at all. That is absurd. They're too busy doing that themselves with Cambridge Analytica, Anovo VPN, algorithmic malfeasance, betraying Oculus login promises, and the list literally goes on and on. If anything, Apple is prompting them to clean up their act, encouraging them to do the most minimally decent, user-centric thing imaginable. That is, respect and consent, so they can start regaining our trust. And until they do, we've just got to keep educating ourselves so that we can better understand how everything from ad tracking to algorithms work, to find out how to make them more respectful, more ethical, maybe even to do it ourselves, and to get started, to get into this industry, to help create a better, brighter future for all of us. Check out Brilliant, a website and app built on learning while doing and solving real challenges in real time. They've got interactive courses, everything you need to know to get started with algorithms, but also math, science and computer science, logic and deduction, physics, quantum mechanics, game theory, cryptocurrency, and so much more, all with instant feedback that coaches you bit by bit so you can rapidly improve and learn fundamental concepts, literally before you even realize it. No memorization of long, messy formulas or fact sheets, no tests or grades. Just go to brilliant.org/ReneRitchie or click the link in the description, pick a course, and get started now, today. And clicking on that link really helps out the channel. For more, much more on Apple and Facebook, hit the playlist above. Even Apple and Epic, and Apple and its own app store. All the drama. Hit that playlist, and I'll see you in the next video.